Right, so hey guys, we are going to be playing a bit of Cameo today, and hopefully I'm going to try and walk you through sort of as best I can. Mm, Yeah, let's see how it goes. I think we've got, I'm doing level 1,
High among the
so this will
clouds,
be
Kameo was
Thorn's
bestowed with the
Castle
fabled transformation
and
magic.
the Enchanted Kingdom
My
and
sister's
the
jealousy
beginning of the
concealed a
Badlands.
shadow from our
Um,
pasts.
this is sort of, yeah, the first main bit of the game, and I'm going to
Great
break up
ancient
into,
conflict between the
uh,
trolls
I
and
think, around 6 videos.
with her family
I'm probably going
helpless
to be wrong there,
behind.
but
Cameo is their only
There is
hope.
also a couple of hacks you can do where you can get the extra cameo skins, which they released a year or two ago, which were meant to be impossible to get, but now you can just get all of them. But I will come back to that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Listen well, Cameo. Your power lets you transform into elemental warriors, and their abilities will help you reach the top of the castle and find your... Now, your pummelweed form.
Okay, so here is sort of if you just keep pressing your left and right triggers, if you alternate them quick enough, you can sort of go into this sort of slow-mo thing, which if you look at the middle of the screen, that sort of shows you how much time you had left before it then goes back to a normal speed again.
Ah, your major ruin form
You
can help you
can
get
use
around.
Major Ruin to fight enemies, which is the little ball guy, but to be honest, he's not very good. He's a bit too clumsy, like cumbersome. The only thing he's really any good for is dashing up ramps. But he's still a handy warrior to have, nevertheless. Um, yeah, let's move on. You can sort of see to dash up the ramps, you have to hold down the right trigger and sort of spurt up in the air, and then hold down the right trigger whilst you're in the air. Sort of lets you spin mid-air to dash across to the next bit. 'Cause it's not always so easy to just do it in one smooth move, so I find that it's a lot easier to do it in two. Now these little white trolls, I hate them. It's just easier to duck underneath one of those shells, basically wait for them to stop, and then as I've done that, you just sort of duck underneath it, flip the lid off, and yeah, dispatch with them. And similar sort of logic when they've got sort of shields like that. I mean, I've just been beaten up there, but um, to sort of get rid of the shield, you've got to do the uppercut move. See, in the three that you've got on this level, Chiller is my favourite for um, sort of fighting because I can see that you can just throw them on his back and you can then just sort of toss them into the distance. So it's a much quicker way of, getting rid of them rather than like with Pummelweed where you have to sort of keep punching them. Okay, so Fire Guys should pop out here. There you go. With these, you can throw them on your back, but just be very quick with how you get rid of them because if they stay on you for too long, they then set you on fire. And then if that does happen, either change to a water type, um, warrior or sort of like a rock type, so a bit like Major Ruin. So anything either grass or otherwise sort of like chiller, they just end up burning, which is a bit unfortunate. So these guys, you sort of have to dash into them. I mean, to be fair, you can either dash into them, you can punch them, or you can smack them with chiller, but chiller's one is a bit clumsy. With that, you sort of need to be very precise. And you can't destroy them in any way except sort of throwing them over the edge. So as you can see here, I'm sort of having a look for him. Managed to lose him. Oh, there he is. There you go, over the edge. So that counts as a kill. And then you've got to deal with 3 more of these. I do find it easier to sort of knock them all down before I then attempt to sort of rush them over the edge, because it then means that sort of whilst you're dealing with one, the others don't disappear and come up behind you. I think I've just shown you one of the moves you can do with Pummelweed. It's not that great a move, I'm not going to lie. I think you then push the sort of left toggle forward twice and then the right trigger from memory. But I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't really go right half the time and it's not actually that effective. Like this bit, I always change to Major Ruin to sort of roll over because the camera angle goes a bit funny. And I always find if you end up like hovering across it or something, you somehow end up just spontaneously flying over the edge. These gates, you've always got to hit the red things, then Pummel can go underneath them. I hate these bugs. They're just annoying. To the usual, chuck on Chiller's back, nice and easy. And to remember, you get rid of the little fire guys sort of as quickly as you can. There's another troll. And there you go, next gate is open. Right, so you turn to Major in here because I knew they were going to blow up. So you've dashed over the edge. Right, so if you look up there, you'll see that there's lots of chandeliers. If you can knock them down, sometimes you get lucky and you hit a troll. It's the only reason I do it. Oh, there you go. And basically you have to sort of get rid of the others on your way through, which is a little tricky because it's such a sort of tight path. I don't really like using Pummelweed, but because of how tight it is, he's probably the best out of the 3 warriors that you currently have. Sort of smash the crates on the way through so I don't let them fall off the edge. So he should only take 1 hit from memory. There you go. Do the usual, hit the red gem. What is helpful is once you get hold of the elemental fruits, is Pummelweed can have an upgrade where it gives him like little razor leaves, and when he does his thing on the floor that he's doing now. Anyway, I'll come back to that. But if you notice, they've got those metal things on the floor again. So if you can, try and get rid of them all before you finish defeating these trolls, because some of those annoying white trolls are going to come back out soon. So you see, I try and get rid of as many as I can. And I say, right, okay, go deal with the shell things. Again, it's a bit jolty, so don't go right towards the edge. Because if you get rid of them in time, it then means that they don't have anything to hide underneath when they then come out. Because I just have a hatred for them, they're just annoying. There you go, I've casually set myself on fire. It's not very clever. And you just turn to Major Urn to basically extinguish the flames. so sorry if it was a bit jolty there. It's sort of where the Xbox basically gets grumpy after a certain amount of time, so I have to clip them up into certain chunks. But as you saw with the white guys, they didn't have anywhere to go, so it's just easy to grab, throw them on your back. And that bit's important. You've always got to kill the troll at the top, because if you climb it with Chiller, obviously if you get to the top and find that, he's just going to then knock you back off. He always gets hit by the bug, so I won't worry about him, which means you've only got one troll to deal with, until the other one turns up, that is. So yeah, quickly throw him away, and back up the next wall. So with this guy, what you're meant to do is uppercut him with pummel bead, and then sort of basically hit his jaw with Chiller, because he's meant to have a glass jaw. But see that chandelier above him? If you do it fast enough, you can smack him on the head, and basically he just opens the door straight away. But because I was too busy basically trying to show how to do the uppercut thing, I got distracted and forgot to do it. But that's how you're meant to do it. You have to sort of punch his jaw and then just keep shooting with Chiller. See his health going down on the left. Now you've got to do it again. There you go. Nice and easy, but it could have been done easier if you get what I mean. And that is technically the end of Thorn's castle. This bit should be going into a cutscene, which you are welcome to fast forward this bit or watch it, depends if you're sort of playing along as you watch. But yeah, enjoy.
Finally awake, are we?
Where am I?
Your battered and broken body was found by the castle servants and brought to my hut. It took all my power and skills to bring you back from the brink of death. Do you know who I am, child?
I'm not a child, and yes, I know who you are. The Mystic, one of my mother's royal advisors.
Very good. Now, would you like to explain why you stormed an enemy castle without the whatnot?
Because I didn't have time to sit around and wait for some old book to be repaired.
You were warned. If you ventured too far from the whatnot, your power over the elemental warriors would be weakened. But did you listen?
What would you have done if your family was kidnapped by a horde of trolls? I had to try and rescue them.
And yet all you succeeded in doing was to lose every elemental warrior your mother passed on to you.
There was nothing I could do. Callus was torturing the ancestors, and I tried to command my warriors to stop her, but before I even blinked an eye, this massive troll caught me off guard.
A massive troll? It is worse than I feared. Thorn, king of the trolls, has somehow been awakened. And there is only one who possesses the power to do so.
Callous. Why would she have betrayed us so completely?
For power. Why else? And with Thorn at her side, she may yet get what she desires.
I will do everything I can to stop them and to save my family, but without any elemental warriors, I'm doomed, aren't I?
There is still hope. But first, you must convince the wizard Ortho that you are still worthy of the whatnot, and heed this warning. Do not fail this task, because I need... silly me. I mean, you need that book in order to set things right.
I promise I won't fail, Mystic.
Very good. Warrior trainer, you may enter now!
Follow me, if you please. I will take you to Ortho.
Go! We have no time to waste.
I'm sorry,
So
but
we've got
she's
to go
just
see the warrior
too
trainer now,
undisciplined to
and
work
basically
with. Paid
prevents
absolutely
the
no
book guy
attention to
that
me when I
is
told her she wasn't
worth
ready
us
to
having
attempt a
said
rescue,
book.
and nearly got killed as a result.
I still believe she has potential. Let me at least test Kameo and see how she fares before you pass your final judgment.
So basically now we've just got to do a few tests, but they're fairly simple. Frankly, you should have done these before the first level in my opinion, but there you go.
Kameo, I've been waiting for you. Please come closer and talk to me. You will not survive what is to come without Ortho's assistance. Unfortunately, he feels you lack the type of control, a power as awesome as the transformation magic requires. But there still may be a way to change his mind. An ancient test of skill, handed down from one warrior trainer to the next. Then let us begin. First, let's see how observant you are. Try taking a look around. Good. But can you center your gaze on the 4 torches? You can also focus your gaze. Not bad. You may return to moving normally. Hovering will get you over obstacles and small gaps. Try hovering for me, now. Prove to me you've got the hang of it by hovering around this hut for a few seconds. That's enough. You may land again. Here's something a bit more advanced. Try your flip kick attack on me. Don't worry, I won't hit back. Again. But this time, use the pumpkin as your target. 1 kick a day is more than enough for me. Excellent. Here's a little reward for you. Runes like this can be spent in any shop in the land. Perfect. I'd say you deserve a little break. Move over to the elixir bottle and interact with it to drink it. You'll notice that your health bar increases with each elixir you drink. Moving on.
Enough! You've made your point, old friend. So, you've returned from Thorn's castle with your tail between your legs, hmm? I must admit that I was skeptical of your abilities, but anyone who can pass the trainer's tests must be worthy of holding this, the Whatnot Book. Long ago, it served as a vessel for the elemental warriors of legend, and along with the element of power, it's one of 2 artifacts needed to control them. The Whatnot will also keep a record of your journey. You can read it as we travel by pressing this button. Pressing this button will put the book away, and you can flip the pages with these. I've decided to remain inside the book for the time being. It's obvious that you won't be able to rescue your family without my advice. If you get stuck, turn the pages until the book is closed, and then press this button to talk with me. Well, I suppose you'll get the hang of things as we go. Now, we'd better go and see the mystic. Put the book away, and we'll get going.
Right, so at this point, if you've got the rare replay version of Kameo, so on the Xbox One or the Series X, all of the original downloadable content is available. So that means that all the Kameo skins that you used to have to sort of get high levels for, that kind of thing, they're just all included in the game now, which is really nice. And I have a funny feeling it's the same for all the elemental warriors, but obviously you won't be able to see that now because we don't have any. But as you can see here, I'm just sort of showing you a couple of the skins. So I think they have a Halloween one and a Christmas one as well, to be fair. But my favourite one's sort of like an Egyptian sort of themed one, which I have a funny feeling is the Masquerade number 6 or 7, I think. So just out of plain curiosity, let's go a quick nosy. Oh, there it is. There you go, she sort of semi-looks Egyptian now, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so if you're interested and you've got the rare replay version, you should be able to just do it via the bonus
I
tab.
got the Whatnot, and Ortho says it's fully repaired.
Took him long enough to fix it.
If you want to talk about long, then take a look at your snout in the mirror.
What did you say?
Sorry, the pages sometimes muffle my voice. I asked if you could wave your magic wand and find the missing elemental sprites.
It's a crystal eye. And I've already used it to divine their location. They're trapped inside the Shadow Trolls.
The Shadow Trolls? Quite preposterous. Those were hunted down and sealed away by Kameo's ancestors long ago. In fact, you were the one who convinced Fina to do it.
Hold it. I heard legends of the Shadow Trolls, but why do you keep mentioning these elemental sprites?
Ah, you see, when the Whatnot was damaged, severely I might add, which is why it took me so long to fix it.
When it was damaged, the book could no longer hold the elemental warriors, and they reverted to their physical forms, the elemental sprites.
The sprites resemble tiny woodland creatures, and they're quite vulnerable without the power of the Whatnot. However, if you can return them to the book, you can once again manifest into their true warrior form.
But to do that, you first have to rescue them from the Shadow Trolls. I only hope you've learned enough.
My family beat them once. I'll try and beat them again. Show me what you can of these things.
They draw their power from the Shadow Realm, and must return every so often to replenish. One of the portals to their undead lands is in the woods near here, enter it, and you are bound to come across a shadow troll.
Right, so that's the first shadow troll, and within him should be Pummelweed. So because he's the first one you fight, he's pretty
I
easy.
think I have an idea.
It does sort of briefly experience you once you get in there, but basically avoid the big sort of black ghosty looking thing, aka the shadow troll. And you have to wait for these sort of light trolls to pop up from the earth. And once they pop out, you have to do a flip kick attack on them, because you can't use warriors in there. I mean, we don't have any at the moment, but you're always on your own. You don't have warriors when you're in the Shadow Realm.
Shadow trolls
So,
are formidable enemies.
there you go, you can't use physical attacks on it. So we've basically got to loiter until one of the light one. There you go. That's a sort of skeleton-y, glowy thing.
There. Now,
Basically,
to the light energy.
these ones only ever need one hit, which is quite good.
It back at the shadow
You sort of turn around, take aim, right or left trigger, and there you go. I mean, obviously as the game progresses and you start rescuing more and more of the elemental sprites, they do get a lot harder to defeat. They start sort of throwing things at you and sort of making mini earthquakes and the like. But as this is the first one, it's nice and easy. And there you go, now you've got Pummelweed back.
You should recognize this elemental warrior. It's your old next there. The information page contains a list of a warrior's advanced techniques. We've restored one elemental warrior, but the others may not be so easy to track down. I suppose it's time for another visit to that overbearing mystic.
See, what I mentioned about the skins is if you go down to alternate skin, every warrior will have this, and there's the Christmas one. And yeah, so it can be quite fun to sort of cycle through them. There are skins that you can buy or find in like abandoned huts, etc. throughout the game, but those are the skins that are purely sort of level based, so you're not going to get them as you play the generic course of the game unless you get an A in your level or something like that, which is nigh on impossible. I tend to find. I've done it once,
but I did what was necessary.
Very stressful.
Very good.
Anyway,
now,
new cutscene.
Just give me a moment, and I'll locate the next shadow troll.
Wait, have you learned anything new regarding Thena or the others?
Unfortunately, no. But the quicker you retake all the elemental sprites from the shadow trolls, the sooner you'll command the power you need to save your family.
Don't be such a witch, you witch. Use the sight to find out how they fare.
Fine. Let me gaze into the eye and see what I can see. It's Hallis. He's being taken to a temple hidden in the deep and dark depths of the Forgotten Forest. The lair of an ancient demon so horribly powerful it can suck out a being's very soul. Now, I assume you'll want to try and save him.
Reaching the Forgotten Forest will be a dangerous journey, and one that only you can make. But I will take you as far as the Badlands.
Then lead the way, noble trainer.
So here it suggests that you follow the warrior trainer straight to the Badlands. But now that you've got pummelweed, the elemental fruits are going to start popping up. And these are the things that you can basically use to upgrade your warriors to get sort of extra moves, etc. So there you go, there's the first one. And I'll just sort of pick up a few of them as we go around the Elemental Kingdom, just to sort of... so I've got a slight arsenal. Because I've played this game without upgrading the characters and it's a little bit painful. But yeah, so you can see the warrior trainer's gone into the dungeon there, which is where the portal to the Badlands is. But I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes, after I've sort of shown you the basic areas that have elemental fruits, which, you know, as I say, they help improve your warrior's abilities.
I'm always here.
I did try and do this bit in fast forward, but then it just kept making really annoying sounds, so apologies.
Hello there. This is my shop, where you can buy all sorts of provisions. If you're going down to the Badlands, you should stock up.
So, when you go to any new area, the first place you should stop is really at any of the shops. Sort of load up on all your elixir of lives, sort of any extra fruits, skins, etc. Oh look, another fruit. But unfortunately, because I've only just begun the game, I have a small issue of no money. There is also the effect of the crystal eyes, actually. So there's 4 of them available in the game, and each of them have different ways to help you. So there's one just underneath this shell here, which helps you to regenerate. It's not my favourite one, but considering we've only got pummelweed at the moment, it's the only one that we can have access to. But this is handy for helping to sort of regenerate if you've taken a few too many hits.
The elves would gain amazing abilities in combat. It'll be well worth hunting all of them down if you can. You can equip them on the Whatnot status page. Collecting elemental fruit will enhance your warrior's ability.
One of the sort of side quests that each sort of kingdom has is they have like these hidden sign quests. So you follow 5 signs, and they all have various clues, and at the end it rewards you with an elemental fruit. So I'm going to sort of head off to find the first sign, which is by the shrine for Aunt Lenya, who you rescue sort of later on in the game. She's obviously got this little hidden bit up the side. Sort of, there you go, there's her spirit, and sort of like a little briny thing. There you go, better look there. And sort of you see just in front of me, there's a sign. And sort of you read that, and you basically start this little mini quest. So, it's telling you to go and look at an old man's shrine. So that will be the shrine for one of the other ancestors, Yeros, who you would have seen at the beginning. So he's sort of like the slightly short old guy that Callus, sort of the sister, was electrocuting along with Lenya and Hallis. So there's Yeros' spirit. Sort of just having a little look for his sign.
come out in the wash.
They have a funny feeling it's behind me, and I'm just looking the wrong way. If I just sort of go down there.
Everyone looks so glum.
Oh, there it is. Sort of gives you a slightly better look at the whole Euros thing. You can sort of see people mourning him. There you go, ghosts. You can walk straight through them. And there you go, there's the sign. See, that's near the throne room. So, if you remember where I flipped that shell there, I got the crystal eye. That was sort of next to a giant staircase. And that giant staircase goes up to the throne room. And basically, if you go round the balcony instead of going into the actual throne room, there's another one of those signs hidden around there.
No one seems to... All right, mate.
So you sort of hover around your balcony, keep going around. The sign should be, yeah, there we go. So the supplies, I believe that means it's near the market stall off the top of my head. I'm not going to prove myself wrong. That's sort of the first place I want to go look. I'll make the grass base that long, it's really hard to find stuff. Okay, so the one that sees in time, that's the Mystic. So you've got to go down all the way the other end of the map. Sort of that's where we began on the Enchanted Kingdom. The final sign should be somewhere around here. There we go. Okay, because you've done all 5 signs, you then get a free fruit, which is quite nice.
What was that?
I need to get more.
Sorry, a bit jumpy again there. Right, so I think we've probably picked up enough elemental fruits for now. And we should have a quick look inside the dungeon, I think. So basically to your left is the chamber of living chamber of portraits, I think, where you can replay earlier battles, etc. Down here is the dungeon, and the dungeon is where one of the older, one of the other crystallizers. But I can't get that until I get the elemental warrior that comes after the Forgotten Forest, which is a level I will do sort of after the Badlands.
Halt! What's your business?
I'm looking for the Forgotten Forest. Who wants to know?
The forest? It's not far. I'd take you. But trolls are making a real mess trying to destroy the elemental shrines. And I'm committed to stopping them.
I'm sure I'll manage. Wait, the shrines? Those are what maintain the shield around the Enchanted Kingdom. You can't let them be destroyed.
So I'm told. But 2 have already been demolished. If we lose any more, you'll be getting some uninvited guests.
Just great. Well, I'll have to get to the forest, but it sounds like you need my help.
We'll be fine. Take one of my horses, it'll be safer. Expect to run into some trolls.
Leave the trolls for our soldiers to deal with. We have to rescue Hellis before he comes to harm.
This tells you if you spend too long charging through the soldiers. I find that quite funny. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to have a sort of look through a few of the huts that have been abandoned in the Badlands, because from memory each one of them has something good in it. Again, if I did this in fast forward it would just make like a really annoying high pitched sound, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'm just sort of basically going to give you a quick tour of what it all looks like whilst they're all busy fighting over there. There are a few shrines which sort of maintain the shield around the kingdom, which I think is what that knight guy has sort of just alluded to. I'm just going to sort of give you a glimpse of one now, I think. So yeah, I think that's one of them that we have to defend later on. But yeah, basically, I'm going to have a quick nosy around the Badlands and pick up any extra fruit I can, any elixirs of lives. Annoyingly, after I did this I realised that I should have just come down this later, because you do get a lot of the extra skins in these huts, but because I've only got pummelweed I can't pick any of them up right now. So when you see me sort of looking at them and just walking away, it's because I don't have a choice, annoyingly. But yeah, basically the levels consist of a grass level, a water sort of level, and a nice sort of snow level, as you can sort of see here. So I'm going to have a quick look at my first hut. But yeah, let's basically get this all out of the way before we then head to the Forgotten Forest, which is when sort of you do your first official level. Oh, there you go. Looks real life. It's like I knew it was there. But yeah, if you go into any of these huts, make sure you open all the wardrobes, defrost any ice, smash as much as you can. And there are also 2 huts, sort of at opposite ends of the map, which I will show you now, where the warrior trainer basically resides. And on one of them, he gets you to sort of basically smash as many pumpkins and beetles as you can. And if you do sort of the amount he wants and the time limit he gives you a fruit. The other one I think is called Troll Trouble and Elemental Evil. So Elemental Evil you can't do until you've got all of your warriors, hence the name Elemental. But Troll Trouble, that one is doable, and it's, to be fair, it's doable fairly early on. But annoyingly, you can't do it with just pummelweed. but for entertainment purposes alone, I will do it for you to show just how poor Pummleweed is at taking down mass numbers. So yes, basically these things where you sort of see them disappearing underground, smash the tables, smash as much as you can because there's normally something hidden. But it's just coins there, unfortunately, not skins or anything. But yeah, I'll show you what happens if I do the troll trouble with just Pummleweed, and I will get annihilated. But it's one of those things, I know what's going to happen before I even start, but you've got to do it just for the amusement purposes.
Ah, Kameo. I wasn't certain you'd find this place, but if you're here, you must be confident enough to attempt some of my challenges. If you succeed, you'll be rewarded. You'll need to keep in fighting form if you're to survive. Why not hone your skills with a challenge? These are the rules of the challenge. Make sure to stick to them.
I haven't actually upgraded Pummleweed yet, which is a little bit dumb, considering I've got to kill 40 trolls in 90 seconds. So, those elemental fruits we got earlier will sort of do a little bit of a glow up. He's now got spiky leaves on top of his head, so every time he ducks, he does the spinny thing on the ground. That means that basically he hurts whoever gets in the way. And Weed Kill, if you hold down the left trigger whilst you're doing that spinny thing, then that basically makes it like a little whirlwind kind of effect. And it can be quite good, but again, it's not my preferred fighting style. There you go, I've just done a quick demonstration there. The thing is, if they get a lucky hit in like it does there, you then fall. And as you can see, I've got to destroy 40 of these trolls, which is nowhere in hell is that going to happen. But I've got to provide some sort of amusement, so yeah, enjoy.
Time out. You'll have to be quicker than that, I'm afraid. All right, be on your way. But remember, you won't improve your skills if you don't practice.
So, like I said, with the huts, basically any wooden chests that you see out in the Badlands, so including down here, just destroy them because there'll always be coins in them if nothing else. Every now and again you do get lucky and you get something like an elemental fruit, but 99% of the time it's coins, which is always handy. But to begin with, I think your purse only holds something like 50 coins, so every time you go to a shop, try and buy the bigger purse if you can afford it, because otherwise your earnings just get capped, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look in all the other huts now. Again, if I could do this on fast forward, I would have done, but it ended up sounding like one of those slightly manic cartoons, so I opted against it. So you see, this is the other part where the warrior guy sits. Um, and I think the two challenges there are called Pumpkin Panic and Beetle Brawl. And to be honest, the best person to have for that is probably either Rubble, who we're going to go rescue next, or one of them called Deep Blue, but you're not going to get Deep Blue for a while. So we're going to go get on our little horse. We're just going to explore one or two more, and then we'll head off to the Forgotten Forest Glade, which is what I will then do for my second video. And only with these trolls you can't really defeat them until you've got someone that can sort of smash them from behind, so basically again Rubble. Which I suppose when you get him near, if you're going to get him in the Forgotten Forest, it does make sense for sort of the two little side quests to be just outside it, doesn't it? So, with your horse, I don't know if you managed to sort of see, but if you hold down the left or right trigger, you can charge, which is it's meant to be for charging into trolls and sort of knocking them aside, but it just helps you get across the landscape so much quicker. So as you see, it's quite a vast map for him to just sort of do at a normal pace, and it just takes too long. So we'll just sort of like go to the little green indicator on the map, which is sort of where it tells you to go, but you know, I do love a side quest. So just have one last look down here. trolls, it's sort of mostly doable with pummel I know they sort of try and encourage you to use him as much as you can, but he's not my favourite warrior, which is annoying when he's the only one you've got at the moment. But he is one of the only ones that can do that slowing down of the time thing, which I think Rubble can do, but I'm not sure many of the others do it so easily. There you go, just sort of knock them all down. I think you get a prize for knocking all them out, wouldn't you? It's a bit annoying. But yeah, the usual sort of break everything you can, just in case it's something in one of the vases or chests, etc. I like reading the notes in them, because it's obviously just before everything goes terribly wrong, and I'm going to guess it's where the trolls have invaded. There's obviously a reason that all the huts are now abandoned, and some of them even control trolls, so... So, whenever you go to a village, you always have to dismount your horse, which is a bit annoying, because I'd love to take the horse in there. But, yeah, that's the end of my first video, which I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to get on to making the next one. Alright, bye!